Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play the roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
Beterbiev says Bivol is out. I want David Benavidez next. Let's talk about it.
So, I'll be honest with you, man. To me, when the first Beterbiev-Bivol fight happened and Beterbiev got the nod, it was basically say, hey, let's get an immediate rematch. And Beterbiev gave it to Bivol. He said, all right, let's run it back. That's fair. It was close enough. Some people even debated that Bivol won. Let's run it back. They got a second fight. Bivol took the second one. Now we've been waiting, in my opinion, far too long. My personal opinion, Bivol is trying to age out Beterbiev. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed because Bivol has always been a very brash talker. And what I mean by that is he, in my opinion, diminishes the value of other fighters by, even though he says it politely, talking down on the way that they act and the way that they fight, the way that he'll say, oh, they're a good fighter, but then he'll throw a little bit of an underhanded comment, things of that nature. So for someone who talks like that, in my opinion, you better be that guy. And the fact that we've now been waiting God knows how long since their last fight. And again, keep in mind, yes, even I remember Beterbiev also had, I believe it was shoulder injury. Don't quote me on that. But I believe it was a shoulder injury, so it delayed it a little bit. But it's not like it delayed it in an immense amount. It delayed it enough to where you could be like, okay, well, I don't want this to take too long. But right after that, they got it on for the second time. Now Bivol's taking way too long, in my opinion. And if I'm being honest with you, I believe, yes, he's trying to age him out. I actually don't believe he's trying to fight Beterbiev. So now Beterbiev has said, all right, since this guy's taking too long, and it sounds like Benavidez wants to smoke, let's get that smoke going. And first of all, props to Beterbiev for being that guy, because if I'm being honest with you, to me, he's proving that he's more that guy than Bivol. It just seems like it's one of these scenarios where Beterbiev actually does want to fight, and for whatever reason, Bivol is stalling. And again, I know some people say, oh, he's injured, he's got surgery, blah, blah, blah. Listen, man, at this point, I get having surgery. I understand, and you're going to be out for a period of time. I respect that. I understand that, and he should take care of his body and that injury before anything else. Respect. The fact that multiple sources have said that Bivol is just not responding on when that can happen, on giving updates, all that type of stuff, to me seems sketchy. Again, I feel like he's trying to age out Beterbiev. Beterbiev is obviously an old boxer. So things like that, I feel like he wants to gain as much of an advantage as possible because he is worried. Because if Beterbiev wins this time, the questions are over. And I believe Bivol is worried about that. So to me, it's a little scummy. It's in my mind, bitch behavior, because why would you try and age this man out? I made my feelings on that particular aspect very known with the different number of things, because I feel like a number of boxers try to do that to other boxers. So again, now Beterbiev is talking about facing Benavidez, and look, shout out to both of them. Benavidez has been saying that he wants to be that guy at the 175 division. Unfortunately, he's been kind of stuck in the middle between Beterbiev and Bivol, but now Beterbiev is saying, hey, let's get that smoke. And shout out to Beterbiev for being, a big man, a man of his word. I respect that. I think the type of individual that Beterbiev is, he really is respectful, even though he may not like everybody. He may not have the most nice things to say sometimes about people. At least he keeps it 100 about the way that he is. And that's all I'm asking. So if Beterbiev and Benavidez gets done, I think it's a big hill to climb for Benavidez. I want Benavidez to win, but I got to be honest with you guys. Obviously, the power of Beterbiev does worry me against a Benavidez. And listen, I'm not saying Benavidez can't get it done with the combinations that he does or blah, blah, blah. But I think given some of the fights that Benavidez has had at 175, with lesser punchers, mind you, I'd be a little worried. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it'd be a big hill to climb. But listen, I'm just glad that this fight can potentially be made, because unfortunately for Benavidez, he's kind of been stuck in the middle since, trying to go up against Canelo. Canelo, obviously, in my mind now, ducked him for quite some time. And never gave him a shot at the title that I personally believe Benavidez deserved. Now he said, well, if Canelo's not going to give me the smoke, I'm going to go up a division. Went up to 175, and he's been trying to get the smoke with either Bivol or Beterbiev, whoever wins. And because they've been having their back and forth, this also becomes an issue. So shout out to Beterbiev for finally speaking out and saying, hey, look, if he wants to fight, I will give him the fight. Especially because not only does it put Beterbiev in a dangerous position, because if Beterbiev loses, then now people are going to start asking, well, maybe we shouldn't make Beterbiev versus Bivol. Maybe we should make Benavidez versus Bivol, especially because they have some history as far as training. So shout out to Beterbiev, shout out to Benavidez if they get this fight done. I'd be looking forward to it. I think it'd be a great fight. I think Benavidez would finally get a real test at the 175-pound division. Again, he looked phenomenal in his last fight against Jard. Got him out of there. So I think it'd be good work for everybody involved. I've been looking forward to it. Be a good thing to talk about. Great fight to watch. So let's get it going, y'all. Let's get that fight going, my man. What do you think about that, brother?
So a couple of, just one slight correction on your, and you questioned if it was a shoulder injury or like that. It was actually a back surgery that Bivol had needed to set, and it was for, from what his coaches and even the doctor said, it was a reoccurring injury with him where it's like he had to keep getting his back injury or his back going in for all types of surgery. So this is really more of a repeating injury for himself. So look, man, you don't want any actual excuses going into potentially a third fight up against Beterbiev. I will, however, say the not giving any answers to Beterbiev when you're out here taking vacation pics out in Paris or out all over Europe, and it's like, look, dog, it's not really a good look. It's one thing to say, okay, well, it's not like he can't take any vacations. I'm not saying that. I am saying, however, if Bivol is taking all this time for his back surgery, for any kind of recuperation, recovery, what have you, and you see he's out here order farming out all over Europe, all over Paris, and not giving one single word back to Beterbiev's team, people are going to have their opinions about that. People are going to start looking at it and say, maybe he doesn't want the smoke from Beterbiev. And that's where I kind of want to give more of the credit for Beterbiev. I do want to give my thanks and roses, and absolutely deserved for Benavidez for taking the fight up to 175. But I do think in the situation all involved, Beterbiev should be getting all the flowers that he deserves. Because let's be honest, he doesn't need to make this fight. Benavidez, well, I mean, other than Benavidez having the WBC belt at 175, granted, yeah, that's probably the one aspect of that. But in all actuality, like, Beterbiev actually negotiating the fight between Benavidez, he doesn't really need this fight. I mean, but Bivol has majority of the belts, and Beterbiev needs to make the revenge tour for that belt. But if Bivol's not getting at him, then he could very well make the argument and say, Bivol's absolutely scared of me. Once this back surgery comes, he legit have no excuses left. He can maybe say in a couple of fights that his back was agitating him and maybe he was giving a less than stellar performance. But once that back surgery is up, he can make the argument and say, Bivol doesn't want to fight me and he's scared and he knows it. Therefore, I'm going to make a fight at this other opponent to basically get back at him and say, look, I don't need you anyway. I can get this other belt and I can get the rest of the belts in the meantime, in the future. But until then, he could very much say, Bivol is afraid of me. And quite frankly, as far as no word getting back, it's starting to look like that argument is actually starting to hold water.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. Again, it's one thing to be like, hey, I got injured. I got to heal up. That's all fair. That's all fair, especially because I can't remember the gentleman who said this, but it takes years to build up a fighter and you can ruin it in 30 minutes. 30 minutes of a fight, obviously. And listen, I agree with that sentiment. I 100% agree with that sentiment. That being said, Bivol has been a professional now for quite some time. He's currently the undisputed champion at the 175-pound division. So my question is, listen, bro, piss or get off the pot. You can't be drawing shit out like this. And listen, again, if it was a little bit of time, fair enough. I'd be like, hey, let the man rest. Let him get healed up. This is dragging on a little bit, big dog. This is dragging on a little bit. And again, the fact that multiple sources are now saying that Bivol's basically just not responding, Bivol's team is just not responding to Beterbiev, it begs the question, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? So either way, I'm looking forward to it. I would preferably like to see the final match between Bivol and Beterbiev, but short of that, if Bivol's not going to do what he's supposed to be doing as champion, having Benavidez fight Beterbiev, I think, is basically the next best thing in that division. Again, Benavidez recently had a fight against Jard. He looked phenomenal in that fight. I think it went great for him. He looked very dominant, very destructive. He looked like he brought power. He looked like he brought those combinations, so on and so on and so forth. So listen, I think he's establishing himself more and more as a credible threat, as a dominant fighter in the 175-pound division. So I'm here for it, man. I'm so here for it. So let's get this shit done. Let's get it to Benavidez the flowers that he so richly deserves, because he's been chasing champions and not making excuses. So let's get it done, y'all. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.